Well. Hello, friends. I recognize that not everyone celebrates the holidays or enjoys the holidays. So I thought a bit about how to frame a practice that really does create or enable a process that drives a practice of awareness, so that the focus is on the self and what's happening, what's arising in the body, and allowing you to face whatever may come that is outside you. Anyway, my name is Karen. I'm coming to you from Vermont, Salt and Sand Studios. If you have some sort of a blanket or a pillow, or you regularly practice and have purchased a bolster, you might grab that. We're just going to start in a lying down back bend. So I'm taking my blanket and just rolling it up to make it about this wide. And I will place it toward the back of my mat and find the place where it feels comfortable, which is pretty much right at my low back. Oops, I need to straighten myself out. And it ends up being between my shoulder blades, so I can just start to soften and open up, not just the back, but the front of the body. If it feels better to bring your feet to the ground or place something under your knees, you might do that as well. Because the practice we're following today, or creating today, maybe a better way to put it, is to start with the transition. So finding your way into the shape from whatever previous shape you were. And I was just seated, not necessarily in a recommended posture for yoga, but I was seated and I transitioned, maybe not that gracefully, but who cares, into this back bend pose. And now I begin to notice the pose. I shift around, finding what feels right and safe. Mainly for me, opening the upper chest and the shoulders, the armpits, and the back, while protecting the low back. And the next step in the process is to surrender. So where can you let go? Where can you reduce the effort? And I'm finding that I was holding my fingers a little tense, so I loosened them up. I noticed my biceps felt tense, so I loosened them up. I'm going to go ahead and replace my heels onto the mat. So we transitioned. We found the posture that is appropriate safely right here, right now. And now we're surrendering. Breath can really help with this. So you take a nice big breath in and release it out the mouth. Feels so good. You might need a little adjustment, and then again. Now is the moment of true awareness, of noticing what arises, what sensations in the body, what thoughts in the mind, maybe images or sounds or music, or maybe it's emotion. And if there's any place you are safe with yourself, it is in your practice. This is your practice. It is not mine. So if there's something that does not work for you, you may take a different shape, not do the shape I suggest, or change the shape in some way, shape or form. This is a more yin-like class, which the advantage of yin is time, not forcefulness. If the knees are not bent, go ahead and bend them and bring the feet to the ground. Notice as you move your knees a little left and right, the edges of the feet, and maybe you find stability by moving the feet apart or forward or back. Go ahead now and bring the feet to the outer edges of your mat and let your knees drop together. That's all. We're not going to take a movement. So we transitioned. We found the shape. And now we relax into it. We surrender. We let go. We loosen. I'm going to take the next few moments to observe the in and out of your breath and anything that might arise in your body, in your mind, in your emotions, your spirit. Now, if I were working fast and hard through a power yoga or heated yoga or maybe even a vinyasa, I might not have noticed that my chin is up a little high. So I'm going to tuck my blanket underneath the back of my neck. The heels move back toward each other. So now the feet are in front of the sitting bones. We'll go ahead and lift the right knee in toward the chest, keeping the left knee pointed to the sky. You might wrap your hands around your thigh or your shin. We're going to inhale, draw the thigh toward the belly. Exhale, loosen. Inhale, thigh to belly. Breathe out, loosen. And again. And loosen. Take a hold of the knee with your right hand. Bring your left hand down to the mat and begin to open up the right hip by taking circles with the knee. Take your time. You might even drop the knee a little more out to the right. You really have to press the left foot into the ground. And opposite circles, opposite direction. When you come to stillness, hands may be behind your thigh, maybe not, and extend that leg toward the sky. That was simply for an aid. So now your hands come next to you. Maybe the palms up, maybe the arms higher up or lower down, depending on what works for you. You can tell my hamstrings tight, but that's okay. I'm going to find my way into it. I'm going to loosen and effort less and move into ankle circles. Opposite direction. Make fists of your toes and then explode that fist. Gently lower the thigh so it is parallel to the other thigh. Trying to do that without looking. And the right heel reaches out. So now your belly is engaged. Maybe your shoulder blades are kissing the ground a little more tightly. Where can you release here? Where can you effort less? We transitioned. We found. We surrender. We notice what arises. Transition for that leg to be closer to the ground. Continue to reach the heel away from you. Find the right spots, not resting on the ground, but the right spots so the belly is activated, but that the low back is not squinching up or in pain. Transition. Find. Surrender. Notice. We'll draw that leg straight up again. Find a half happy baby so the knee bends toward the armpit and you take a hold of the inner or outer edge of your foot. The foot is as if you're stepping on the sky. So my transition was not that easy. I'm not that open today. But now I have found what suits my body. And I'm going to let go. I don't know what you felt, but I just felt a nice deepening in the hip crease. What is arising for you here? And now a supine figure 4. We cross that ankle above the other knee. You're welcome to remain there. Maybe you use your right hand to press the right knee away from you. Or perhaps you gather in your left knee toward the left side of your chest. So again, after transitioning, finding, surrendering, unaware of whatever comes to the fore. For me, I feel like I'm working a lot in my low back. So I'm going to press it toward the earth and draw the navel in and up. And then loosen my shoulders and neck. We now cross that right knee over the left knee and shift the hips over to the left. The knees drop to the right for your twist. Maybe your nose remains pointed to the sky, or maybe it feels okay to turn your head so your nose is opposite your knees. Notice what you notice. Is it in the body? Is it in the spirit? Is it in the mind? Is it an image? For my body, continuing to surrender is the thing it needs to do today. I'll transition to the same sequence on the other side. So we roll the spine back to our bolster or the ground and maybe shift the left foot in a little bit and the hips to the right. We drop the right foot to the ground and maybe you take some sort of interstitial shape. I'm going to go ahead and take a pencil stretch. And when you're ready, knees bend, feet to the ground. Left knee in toward your chest. Inhale, squeeze the thigh toward the belly. Exhale, loosen. Right knee points to the sky. Inhale, belly and thigh touch. Release on the exhale. And again. Left hand on your left knee. We draw circles in the sky, double checking that right knee stays put. That's hard if people have any kind of damage from surgery or skiing or perhaps even some other medical issue. Opposite direction. Then we draw the knee back in. Stretch the leg toward the sky. Reach with your heel. Maybe take a hold of the thigh or the calf and draw the leg in, but don't overdo it. Heel reaches, big toe mound of the right foot is on the ground. Relax into the back, settle in, let whatever comes up come up. You don't have to stay with it, or you can stay with it. You could acknowledge it and set it free. And we'll lower that left leg so the thigh is parallel to the right thigh. It might give you opportunity to stretch the leg a bit straighter. Use the belly. Where can you let go? Lower the leg so it's closer to the floor but not touching. And maybe you find this stretching movement helps to activate the core a bit more. Using the core, pressing the low back to the earth, we lift the leg straight to the sky once again, and then find our half happy baby. It's funny sometimes that when a challenge arises in the body, like right now, my left quads are pretty tight, but it feels good that I'm stretching them. I notice there's a little discomfort. I don't want to say pain. There's a little discomfort, but the opening feels so good. And when you're ready, supine figure 4. Maybe we keep the right foot on the ground or not. Maybe you press the left knee away with the left hand or not. Both feet are active or activated so that your knees are protected. When you're ready, go ahead and cross the knees. Shift your hips a little to the right so you can drop your knees to the left. So transitioning. We adjust to find what works for us. We surrender. And we notice. Energy, breath, heart, body, mind, images, words, sounds. Knees point back to the sky. Feet recenter. I'm going to roll slightly off my blanket and eliminate it. I don't need it going forward. We're going to do a few other things. I can't even find it. All right. As we return to your back, we're going to move into some very, very low back bends. Now set yourself up. Oftentimes, we're encouraged to bring the heels closer to the fingertips. I will ask you to go ahead and move your feet a little more forward so that you can draw the low back onto the earth. Arms are long beside you, palms face down. So this whole thing is transitioning into the posture. You're going to go ahead and tilt the tailbone up without lifting the bottom off the ground. This is where you might stay. Or maybe you continue the transition to lifting, sending the knees forward and lifting the buttocks up, but you remain tilting the pelvis, pointing the tailbone toward the sky. Again, this might be where you remain, where you find less effort and where you discover any ways that you might soften or put the parts of the body that are talking to you. You can also Scoot the shoulder blades together. Find a bit more of a lift, and maybe that's where you stay. Surrender and become aware. Glutes are squeezing, feet are pressing into the floor, and then we let ourselves down. We're not really letting ourselves down, we just move the body down. So we transitioned onto our back. Find what this feels like, what it needs to be for your body. And prepare yourself to transition again. First by pressing the low back to the earth. Maybe drawing the shoulders closer to the hips on the same side, the shoulder blades. And then a little tilt of the tailbone up. We're not in a bridge yet. If you like, if it feels like the right thing, you continue your transition by sending the knees forward, lifting the hips, using the glutes, the quads. And perhaps there's one more step of finding your bridge as the shoulder blades hug in together. You're in the position now. How can you effortless? Where can you let go to find what works best for you in this combination of challenge and arising? We'll come all the way back down. You might find a happy baby or something else that feels good to the low back. I'm going to take a flying Baddha Konasana. And perhaps you take a little rock left and right. And when you're ready, we'll transition to a child's pose. That could be in any manner that works for you. I'm going to go ahead and remove my outer layer, because believe it or not, even without a vinyasa, I'm now warmed up. So for child's pose, if you like, you might try it with your blanket, again, rolled up as you had it, right underneath your belly. So drawing it between the knees, just to give a little extra lift. I'm going to go ahead and fold mine. A little extra lift and lengthening. And I'll place my head on my stacked hands. Your head should be resting on something. So we transitioned. Now we find our way into the shape. We let go. And we notice anything. Voice on our shoulders, colors in our heads, parts of the body that feel joyous, parts of the body that need a little support. Maybe there's nothing in our noggins, or maybe there's something that keeps arising that needs some attention. It's calling for attention. So perhaps you just shake its hand, acknowledge it, hear it, listen to it. It's a good place to set an intention for the remainder of your practice, the remainder of your day or the weekend. We'll draw our way into a tabletop. So work into your transition. That could mean pulling up your trousers, making your way to your tabletop. Stretching the right leg long behind you with the ball of the foot on the ground, Squeeze the glutes and draw the kneecap toward your right quads. Fingers are nice and strong and wide, taking up real estate. And your elbows are flexible, but they're not bent. Belly lifting up. We're going to lift that leg off the ground, square up the hips, and pause. The right leg sweeps out to the right, and we pause. This whole thing is a transition. The right foot comes down to the ground, so the whole foot is on the ground with your right leg long. Then we will rise up to our left knee. Now, if you feel a little wobbly, you can always kickstand your left shin a tiny bit so your left foot moves out. So we transition to this upright posture. We're now going to find length along the left side body while we find length and strength along the right leg. Left arm floats. Draw the belly in and up, get really tall, press the outer edge of that right foot into the ground, and we tilt. We're not trying to necessarily reach anything to anything in particular, but rather directionally the heart energy lifts and we open up the whole left side body while keeping the right leg nice and powerful. For rock star, arms lift up. We windmill the left hand down. It's outside the left knee. And then we press the hips forward. Maybe the gaze lifts up, the right arm lifts up. Again, a nice stretch. We're using that right leg. Maybe the left fingertips come to the ground and the right leg floats up. And now that you have found the shape that makes sense for you, where can you let go? Where can you get the most benefit? What is arising? We'll bring both hands back in front of it, sweep the right leg over the left calf, maybe peek over that way. Shoelace side of the right foot comes to the ground, and then we glide the right hip to the left heel. This is not a pigeon. So at most, the left heel is a little outside the left knee. If you didn't kickstand your left shin, then your left heel is aligned with your left knee. You might draw the forearms back. You might even find a little more space by tucking your right toe under and reaching the heel farther away from you. Yeah. So we transitioned. We just spent some time finding the shape. And now we are surrendering to it. Be careful of collapsing chest or the upper back or shoulders. If you'd like to one potato, two potato your hands to bring your head down, that might feel good. What is your mind on? What is it thinking about? And we rise back up. Right leg floats and the knee draws into your nose. We stretch that leg back out and bring the knee down to the mat. Sitting bones, draw toward your heels, backs of the hands onto the earth with the fingers pointing toward your knees. We're opening up the outer hands, the outer wrists, the outer arm. Be careful that your wrists are not pointing left and right or toward each other. And that your elbows are straight but not locked. You might flip the hands now so the fingers, palms are on the ground, fingers point left and right, or more toward your knees to open up the inner wrists and the inner arms. We don't overdo it. And then tabletop, if your body needs some movement, is calling to you in some other way before we move through the same sequence that we did on the other side, go ahead and just let it happen. It might be a wiggle or a waggle or I say half moon, but a curved moon edge, not a true half moon. We meet back in the tabletop, setting ourselves up. The left leg floats long, and the ball of the foot on the ground. Really, really press into that heel. You want to feel the kneecap drawing upward, the calf stretching, maybe the back of the knee is stretching, and the sole of the foot. We float the leg up, square the hips, use those glutes, and sweep the left leg around to the side. See if you can square your hips and your shoulders and then bring that left foot down. So we have a nice long leg right out of the hip to the left, and we're pressing into the outer edge of that foot as we go ahead and continue our transition into our side bend. Right arm floats high. Start to feel this connection of the top of the back foot and the knee with the earth, and the wiggling of the fingers like you're tickling the clouds before you exhale and tilt. Having found your posture, you might adjust a little bit. Surrender. And notice what arises. Something physical, something emotional, something spiritual, or in your brain. Rock star, arms will windmill. Right hand outside your right knee. And then the pelvis points forward again, shifts forward. Maybe your gaze lifts up. Maybe you found this and you have explored and you realize there's more there for you. So your right fingertips could reach out to the right to allow you to shift that left leg up. It's funny, I feel like my left leg is really far away from the ground, and it's not. So we'll see if I can lift a little bit more. All right, hands come in front. Left leg sweeps over the right calf. Glide the front of the left hip toward the right heel. Perhaps you draw to forearms. If you're crunching or squishing or sagging in between the shoulders or into the chest, maybe you find a block or blocks or your hands to rest your forehead. I'll remain here, letting go and uncovering that of which I'm not always aware, things that arise. And after a couple of breaths, I'll tuck the left toes under and find a slightly different posture with the knee floating from the ground. Hands return to the ground. We float that leg up and step the left foot outside the left hand. Step the right foot outside the right hand. And then bring your feet as wide as your mat. Halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Nice long spine. Maybe your knees are bent. And exhale for a forward fold. Left fingertips come to the mat under your nose. Left knee bends. Right hand to your heart. Press lots of energy into the outside edge of the right foot. Lift halfway up. We are transitioning. Exhale, twist to the right. And if you feel like you have enough to work with, you might float open that right arm. We're opening up the IT band of the right foot. So if you haven't found it yet, if you haven't kind of discovered it or transitioned into a place where you feel that, you might work more to twist from the navel. You might unbend your left leg a little bit. You might bring the feet a little closer together. Hard to find a place to let go. On an exhale, we untwist. Again, a halfway lift. And a forward fold. And we prepare for and take that twist on the other side. And the hand draws down to the mat. Heel toe the feet together and then step the left foot way to the back of the mat. We're going to take a runner's lunge for a moment. Granted, I am in socks, so it's kind of hard. And then we're going to walk to the long edge of the mat. I need to take off my socks. Yeah, it's a little cold today. It's not as cold as it has been. All right, so we are in a fold with wide legs. We're going to turn the heels in, drop the bottom down, and take that twist again. So left hand in the middle, right hand to your heart, twist to the right, and open up. Work in the quads. Drop that bottom down, take it to the other side. And hand comes down. We lift to the bottom, bring the hands to the hips, rise back up. We'll dial our toes frontward and shorten our stance. Bring your feet pretty wide. Hands on your hips, or maybe your fingers kind of poke into your hip creases. We fold halfway down. Pyramid pose. If it feels good, press those hips back again. Even them out. Transition to your full pyramid pose. Ideally, back is nice and straight, so your belly would be touching your thigh. Surrender. Some people might ask, well, if I surrender, I feel like I'm going to pull a hamstring or stretch too much and injure something. Think about a rubber band whereby you can pull it, realize that it's too taut, and just lighten it up a little bit. That's what we're working to accomplish here in the settle in part, in the letting go part. Hands down to the mat, step forward. We'll take a chair pose, Utkatasana. Interlace the fingers at your low back. Draw the arms long, lift the pelvis and the chest. Draw up to the balls of the feet. Squeeze the ankles toward each other. See if you can lower a little bit, keeping the heels away from the mat. And then heels draw down. We take our fold. Maybe your bind remains and floats away from the spine. Release your hands, halfway lift. Bend your knees a little, all the way lift. Float arms high, hands to your heart. Parsvottanasana on the other side. We step the right foot back, bring the feet apart a bit, square up your hips. Stick your fingers into the hip creases, and we transition halfway down, sending that left hip back. Take a moment to explore, and then all the way down, if that suits your body. Almost as if the left foot is dragging energetically backward. And what do you discover? We'll bring the hands to the mat. Step the right foot to meet the left. Come into our full down dog just for a moment. And when you are ready, peel forward, drop the knees to the mat, and find our way to a seat. We're going to work on stacked logs, and then we'll come down to our back and finish up our practice, which really was more yin today than anything, but not solely. So the bottom shin is on the ground, and it's as parallel to the front of the mat as you can get it. And we stack the left shin over the right. I've got some space there, so I'm gonna just give myself an opportunity to relax into the posture, to discover it, to find it, to loosen into it. Let me sit up nice and tall. Notice what arises. And we switch it up. And by the way, you can always do a half lotus or a full lotus here, but it is a little bit of a different stretch. So I encourage you, if it works for your body, to try the stacked logs. Both feet activated, we sit up nice and tall. And for our Shavasana today, it's really going to be a seated, an easy seat, as it were, Sukhasana. So find your leg cross or your half lotus or your full lotus. Nice long spine, strong belly. We'll take the meditative gesture with the hands, the mudra. So the back of the right hand cradles in the palm of the left, and the very tips of the thumbs touch. Shrug the shoulders up to the ears, reach them behind you, release. We have transitioned into Sukhasana, into our final posture. We know that to maintain an upright, safe posture, we need a little bit of activation in the low belly. We need a little bit of activation between the shoulder blades. We find where and how we can effortless, surrendering not only to the posture physically, but spiritually and mentally, which opens up space for the awareness to notice that which arises. Sensations in the knees or the hips or the back of the neck. Colors, sounds, emotions that arise, maybe not just in the sort of heart or the gut or the heart mind, but maybe there are emotions trapped in the knees, in the hips, in the shoulders. We give them permission. We give our body permission, our heart and our mind permission to release them. The yoga practice is a process of many limbs, of many energies, of many approaches. And it's intended to support our ability to respond without vehemence, without anger, without jealousy, without anxiety to what happens outside us. Because the only thing that we can control is our own response, our own mindset, our own reminders. Let's drop the hands to the sides, and for the remainder of this day, we're going to create this bubble of positivity. So we lift the arms out to the sides and up overhead where the palms press together. So nothing negative can come into your bubble, this beautiful bubble. Maybe it's silver and gold, maybe it's gold and white, maybe it's clear, maybe it's your favorite color. The hands draw to the heart. That when something negative arises inside us, we allow it to move through and out the bubble, because it's only permeable from the inside with negativity. From the outside, it is permeable only for positivity. So we'll celebrate that with a chant of Om if you would like. A nice big breath in. Thumb knuckles meet at the center of your forehead so we can bow and honor one another. Namaste. Thank you, thank you, thank you for practicing. And thank you for joining me to do so. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your, whatever it is, day, evening, week, weekend. And there will be no live practice next weekend, the Christmas holiday weekend. Watch Facebook, Instagram, etc., because I haven't decided yet. There might not be a practice on the Saturday after New Year's Day either. And otherwise, then I will see you the first full week of the new year. Thank you. Bye.